How did God smote Sodom and Gomorrah?
Smite. Smote is the past tense.
That's right.
Yeah, that
because
he would
smote
have
them.
smote them.
Smoted.
How did
He
he
smote
smite them?
I like smited. That's the past.
He
tense.
smate them.
There was
in
two.
such a path.
It's two.
Well, like he
So
already
maybe-
did. So I'm asking, how did he do it? So it's past tense.
Would it be plural? Smeet?
How smitten were they?
All right. So I think they're getting hung up on something there. I thought they were talking about God for a second. I don't know. So this is Tim Pool. He's reporting on reporting. That was air quotes. On Trump. Like there was an earthquake, I guess, at Trump's golf course or something. So I don't know. We're gonna get into it. I'm Brentley. This is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So, like I said, this is Tim Pool. I don't know if I've ever I haven't covered him in a long time. I used to cover him quite a bit because he's actually pretty funny. Not intentionally, you know. He's like that dumb kind of funny where it's like he's one of those people where you can just kind of like you can see right through most everything that he's doing, and it's all just like a trigger grab, like a trigger cash grab, you know what I mean? Or just like everything, it's like obvious because he's like, oh, conflict. Here, let's report on this. And you know, I keep saying report. Let's make a fucking YouTube video about this. That's what it is. It's not. There's no reporting. What it's Tim Pool. No. That's not. That's not how this does. And typically he only uses like extremely right wing sources and everything. He claims to not be right wing, which I feel like is significant. Because he is right wing, but you know he tries to hide behind I don't even know, I guess like libertarian or something, I don't know, but he just always so happens to have all of his beliefs line up perfectly with the far stupid right. And you know, I don't know. Let's get into it.
New York City, New Jersey earthquake was near Trump National Golf Club. Ground shook very hard. What a great quote. I don't think near is fair. I think at is a better way to put it. So you have, here's the image of the epicenter of the earthquake. Notice the highways here. Notice everything. You can pull up Trump's golf club. It's literally right there. It's there. The Trump Golf Club is the epicenter, thus proving Trump is either going to save humanity or condemn it. What say you, panel?
Is that, was he being serious? It's so hard to like tell when he's actually being serious, but I feel like I've seen him joke enough times where he's like, I'm actually kidding. I want to make it clear that I'm not being serious right now, because he's taken seriously so often by stupid people, right? Because that's typically who watches this show. You know what I mean?
We have any reports of damage from Bedminster?
I don't think there's any damage.
I think a garbage can tipped over.
Right.
I think that
They will rebuild.
just like Ruth Bader Ginsburg wants you to think the Constitution is alive. I think
It was the epicenter of the earthquake and nothing. There was no damage. Are they sure? Are they sure it was the epicenter of it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about this story. I have like yet to like look into exactly what happened and how serious it was. But I thought, I mean, just any kind of earthquake, I'd imagine like in New York, is going to be not good. I'd imagine, right? Because, but I don't know.
I think the Earth is alive. I think it is. I think there, at the very least, it's a lot of living organisms making up one big organism, kind of like our bodies, with all these living cells making up one living organism.
What? Did he just say that he thinks the Earth is alive? So, all right, he's saying that. I mean, he's like, I think the Earth is alive. Well, I mean, I think that the Earth is made up of a bunch of tiny living organisms that make up one big living organism, like the human body. Like what? No, it's not. Like we don't have rocks, man. We're not made of rocks. Like that's not. What the hell is he talking about? It's funny, and it's funny because I always say this joke about like not a joke, but it's just like kind of a funny way to think about it, that like humans are a planet disease. You know what I mean? Like we're a cancer to the planet, you know, and we get, once we developed, the planet's sick now, you know, and now it's, getting is warming up, as we're messing that up, right? All the carbon and everything just getting sick,
And I think this is not a coincidence.
Do you
So
think
you're
it's
saying-
a conscious rock?
The Earth
Or
is
at
mad
least
at Trump.
sentient.
What
Or
do you
something
think? What do you think conscious means, man?
about
Earth has been
Trump.
watching MSNBC too much.
Yeah, it was in
Yeah, that's
Taiwan
it.
and now it's at Bedminster.
Yeah, MSNBC is known for all those conspiracies. That's where the conspiracies are at. Not the Daily Mail or anything that you look at.
Or, I mean, it could just be total coincidence. The magnetic nature of the universe
Could be.
and earthquakes, lightning in the way that magma is magnetic and flows, and like it's all kind of connected.
I think Letitia James just filed a motion saying
What?
he overvalued this property. Didn't write that it was on a fault line. So like,
Is that true though?
No, just made
Oh,
that up.
because that's actually some people were saying that.
I love the way it said fool. Like, is that true? Is it? I really would hope that this is true so that because we can make a whole nother, I can retitle this whole thing right now if we want to. That'd be great.
Letitia James is threatening to bring up charges against Trump for the earthquake, but that he didn't. He overvalued it.
Never
That
had,
actually makes sense.
He said never had an earthquake, 0% chance in a filing 20 years ago, and she's got him now. So, but yeah,
It's so funny that they think that people stretch this far to like get Trump in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, they just making stuff up, and he's just like, valuing it, but they're just saying that he's valuing his stuff. No, man, like he's actually breaking laws quite a bit, like a lot of them, and very publicly. He's rich. He's a billionaire, or not a billionaire. He's rich, though. We'll just say he's rich. They don't care, they don't care about laws. The whole system's built to protect them,
It's the Ramapo fault that
This
goes
is-
under New Jersey.
we live in a simulation, and the Mandela effect is because they can't erase all of our memories when the simulation changes. I'm kidding, by the way, but like,
See what I mean? See what I mean? He has to like, he's like, we live in a simulation, and the Mandela effect is because they can't erase all of our memories whenever they change the simulation. I'm kidding. Please don't believe that I'm saying this stuff for real. Please, so guys, it's a joke. I wasn't being serious right now. Okay, because half his fucking audience is like, I was been saying. Oh, he's joking. Oh, well, shit. All right. Well, he'll get there. I mean, he's like he's getting there. He's getting there. But pretty soon he's gonna say that, and it won't be a joke. Okay, and then me and him will be like, boom, be like right in there.
it's just there's so many weird things that go on.
It's insane.
Yeah, it was an earthquake. Everyone's like, "Wow, did you hear this morning? We were doing the show, and like people are texting like, it was an earthquake." And then they're like, "Oh, and by the way, it was like at Trump's golf club."
I knew before this. Oh, were you
I
gonna
was
say
gonna say, put that in a book.
It
No one
was
would believe
at
Right? Yeah.
it. You get in a movie. No one would believe it.
stories in the Bible?
when they write the history, and they'll be like, shortly before Trump arrived at court for for this proceeding, there was an earthquake at his golf resort, which shocked the nation or whatever, and people are gonna be like, "No, it come on, yeah, right."
Go on.
They're embellishing
announcing
everything.
the arrival of the host. In the Bible, they'll talk about like great natural disasters wiping out unjust people. I think it was Sodom and Gomorrah. They say that I don't know what it was that destroyed the city, an explosion. I think it was
the fire from the sky. Okay, like that Zayo song. Fire from the sky.
built on a salt mine, one of those cities. So the fumes from sulfur caught fire and the whole place lit up. I don't know exactly, but
What, Sodom and Gomorrah?
yeah, Gomorrah
God smote them.
smote them. Yeah, like God struck it down.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I was thinking last night, like if there's some horrible tragedy about to occur on the planet Earth and God steps in and stops it with a natural disaster, like it would be horrible.
Well,
still.
here's a
What?
question I have. I don't know.
Hold on. What was that brain melt? Okay, so he's saying that if there was some natural disaster that's about to happen, and then God steps in and gets in the way of the natural disaster, right? Then that would who does he think is doing the natural disasters then? What is God's role here? And then wouldn't that just be that nothing happened? Wouldn't that be like, one of those like, oh, it almost happened, but it didn't, because we stopped it. It's like a Men in Black type of situation, right? Where there's like a fucking evil alien throwing a big ball of fire at Earth and it's coming, and then the Men in Black beat the alien and redirect the big ball of fire, and humans don't know a goddamn thing, we're just still out sunning at the beach, just doing our thing. All the while, almost got hit by a fucking fireball, right? Like it sounds like that's what he's saying, right? I don't know.
You guys have the answer for this. How did God smote Sodom and Gomorrah?
Smite. Smote is the
Fire from the sky, dude.
past tense.
That's right.
Yeah, that
because
he
he
would
smote
have
them.
smote them.
Smoted.
Oh,
How did
he
he
smite
smite them?
I like smited as the past.
He
tense.
smate them.
There was
in
two.
such a path.
It's two.
Well, like he
So
already
maybe-
did. So I'm asking, how did he do it? So it's past tense.
Wouldn't it be
This guy's counting the cities. Well, it's both cities actually. So you got one city, and then you got Sodom, and then you got Gomorrah. Not the Marvel character, like but the place. And that he smited did both of them.
be plural? Smeet?
Smeet.
How smitten were they? All right,
But
sorry to interrupt you.
my point was like, was it? Does the Bible describe it as a miraculous destruction, or did God use natural means to destroy them? Right? Did a volcano erupt and wipe them out, or was it like a beam from the sky came in low orbit, ion cannoned them into oblivion?
I don't
It
think
was
What? What the bean? What is a bean? What like a jack kind of beanstalk bean? Like I don't know what he's talking about. What does he mean a bean or a beam? Oh, a beam. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought he said a bean. Like just a giant bean just falls down and blows everybody up. That was what I was picturing. No, yeah, I guess, but it was a supernatural thing. But it was just fire falling from the sky, as far as I understand. Right? It was it. There was no volcano mentioned in the story, just the fire from the sky part, and apparently you turn to salt if you look at it. I don't write them. Okay. I don't write these stupid stories. All right. I just report on them. Okay.
There's a
rains
nat-
of sulfur and fire.
Yeah, I don't think there's a
Oh.
natural disaster. attached
That
to
sounds
this.
like a natural disaster. That could be a natural disaster.
Rain of
Sulfur-
It was Pompeii. I used to think that it was Pompeii. I was like, because I watched this, there was this Discovery Channel thing or whatever, all about how Pompeii was like the old world's Vegas, like it was all about like set, like there were penises drawn on the ground and stuff, and there was like brothels all through it and everything, and then it gets like totally burned up. I was like, that must have been Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the place they wrote about in the Bible, clearly, because the fire came down from the sky, and they're like, we better stop having sex because look what happened. When we marketed it, we got burned up. So no more. This God must not like this. That's all. I don't know.
Sulfur
and fire.
Yeah, they had salt
No,
mines.
I don't
Well,
It was
wouldn't
like
that be like? I mean, you
A
could have. Well,
volcano?
yeah, there were the salt mines, and then Lot, his wife, turned into salt because she looked back.
was that Gomorrah?
Yeah, weren't they
Gomorrah?
fleeing? Wasn't that them?
I watched
noob.
something where they said it was a nuclear bomb.
Oh yeah,
that
I was.
aliens nuked Sodom and Gomorrah because they were debaucherous and spreading disease. And the reason why they said do not look back or you'll turn to a pillar of salt is because she got vaporized by the shockwave.
Oh,
Mm.
well, that-
But that's one of the
He's so proud of this. Like that is pretty. I mean, come on, that is solid. Given the story, aliens, nukes. Why not? Why not? It all goes together, right? Who knows? Is all I'm saying. Anything could be true, I guess. It's in the world of Tim Pool. All right, let's see who won. Al won today. All right, Al. Hey, I don't know as if you've won in a while. And Ember was second. Wow. All right. All new winners today. That's great. See, that's why you got to ring that bell. Because if you win enough times, but nothing. But it's cool. You can say it. I'll get a badge because I can do badges now. Never mind. All right, we're gonna do it. Because I got the member. I don't know if you noticed. There's a membership button now. We're approved. That's right. They didn't put it together about the Ray Comfort dildo. So, that is a level that is allowed now. All right. The comfort banana, or the comfort butt banana. That's what we're calling it. Okay. And now it is. Also, if you want to do any super chats, super thanks, any of that stuff is seriously appreciated. And I will linger on those comments a bit more, bit more longer than than your regular comments. But yeah, so what else we got going on here? All right, everybody saying hi. Hello. Good. Oh, James made it. All right, cool. Well, I didn't. Well, I didn't get raptured here in Indy yesterday. Well, all right. That's what's Indy? Indiana? The Indy 500? There was the 500 was yesterday? I don't keep up with race car stuff, to be honest. You know, too many mustaches. You know, anytime I go around, I'm just like, even like just the bar where the place is playing, it's all mustaches. I'm like, is this place just full of cops right now? What is happening? I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me deeply uncomfortable. I feel like somebody's gonna get hurt. Okay. Somebody's gonna have an attitude problem. And then, you know, when mustache people pop off, they literally pop off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not good. It's not good. You don't want that. Al said, I couldn't get my glitch off in time. Your glitch, what the well, hold on. All right, let me see. In time, so they left me in the ring. So that's a trucking word. That's a trucking word. That is a trucker word that I am unprivy to. What's a glitch, man? It feels I don't know why it feels offensive. I feel like that's a slur of some sort, right? That's like we probably shouldn't be saying that word, right? I don't know what I don't know what's a slur for, but it's got to be. It sounds like a slur, dude. I don't know. You probably shouldn't be saying that. So even if it doesn't need to actually be, it sounds like one. You know, I don't know. Let's see. Paul said, "I'm sorry, not Paul." Paul said, "Hello, everyone." Hello. And Al said, "Okay, got to work on chaining these massive guys." What? What are you the trucker lingo's not going off the rails here. I don't, you know, we're not truckers, dude. We don't know what any of these words mean. Okay. What, man? No, it's all right. Emperor said, all the grifters pretend they're center and reasonable. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Like as far as like him saying that he's not right wing, but yet he only seems to like choose right wing sources that he agrees with. Right now, that's an important distinction because he will cover like CNN when he's like shaking his head, like, look how stupid these idiots are, you know. But when it's the Daily Mail, he's like, this is serious. Now we cannot let this happen because this is. And he talks weird. I feel like he talks like a robot that's having glitch problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's something up with him. It sounds like he doesn't even believe himself. You know what I mean? Hey, Gary's here. What's up? Gary said, okay, going back to lurking while I'm doing stuff. That's all right. You know, don't stop the stuff. You know, don't stop the stuff. Just you know, and keep us on in the background. You know, that's all right. That's what I do for most stuff. And Michael made it too. Cool. All right. Said I'm catching the broadcast on my cell phone. Oh, you don't like that? He said, "Grr." That's not fun. You don't like it on the cell phone. You know? What, you usually do it on your television set? Does anybody call it a television set anymore? I don't know why that cracks me up, but I love calling it a television set. Why is it a set? Like, does it come with like multiple pieces? I don't know. It's stupid. It's like it's a bedroom set. You know what I mean? But it's the television kind. You know, it's just, I don't get it.
Those ancient aliens things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Run.
Ancient alien theorists say
right.
yes.
I'm not a earthquake
I don't like using the word theory that way. They're not theorists. They're hypothesists.
expert. I think they call them geologists. But is the episode
Seismologist.
Oh, see, there
See,
we
you
go.
don't even have that
There we
one.
go.
Yeah.
I said I think,
You're
but
not a vocabulist either.
yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't, did you? You didn't think, okay?
is the epicenter the strongest point or just the origin point? Like, so maybe Trump was shooting out the earthquake at his enemies because it did hit New York City.
Like the eye of a hurricane.
Much better theory right there. I'm sorry. Hypothesis. I just got mad about the theory. Anyway, you know.
So Trump's in his underground lair and he's like, we're going to teach Letitia James a lesson. Activate the device.
I mean, look at that.
That's actually pretty good. I've never heard him do. I've never heard him do a Trump impression before. I don't really watch this guy that much. He's kind of weird. And he looks sneaky. Look at this. Look at his face. He's scheming. You know, there's some scheming going on here, and I I don't know if I approve.
At quote, he's like, it shook very hard. That has to be a Trump quote, right? Like,
Right. Ground shook
Very hard. the hardest 4.2 earthquake you can imagine.
It would have been
Felt every moment of it.
And it's 4.2, right? Like that. How is there a 4.2 earthquake right on top? Or I guess it's not on top, underneath of Trump's place, or whatever, the fucking golf course or whatever, and nothing happened. Nothing got hurt. Not a single. Did anybody report, like, did a game go bad? It's like, I was almost going in the hole, and then the earthquake happened, and the ball just like took a fucking sharp right, ruined the whole game, ruined everything. Nothing like that. Anything?
It would have been more, but then they reduced my bond amount, so I just threw him a little bit of a 4-point something.
Well, so the reason I asked about whether Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by natural means, like the question is, when God takes an action, does it appear miraculous, like a magical beam of light or a volcano erupts?
I think it depends on the miracle. I mean, if you look at the Bible.
But this is why I asked, because if it is God uses natural means, then is he smiting Trump?
That's a good question.
Or
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I said we wouldn't be that lucky. The God, we wouldn't. With our luck, God probably loves Trump. You know what I mean? Like, because they're both assholes.
Has he smote New York?
I think Trump, like
What
I
is the
said,
past tense of smite?
I think that Trump, look at the electoral votes in New York and New Jersey.
It is smote. I was right.
Now,
Smoked. No, I was right.
imagine if you were to break off those two states, Trump wins.
Which
So,
states?
New
New
Jersey
York
and
and
New
New
York.
Jersey.
Oh,
You
yeah.
break them off into the ocean, Trump wins. So, like I said, I think it's the Superman 1 plot, and Trump is Lex Luthor.
Trying to remove
That's right.
Yeah.
New York.
What?
So now we're talking about super weapons.
That was the plot in Superman 1. Do I must have a really bad memory. I don't. I thought. Okay. No, I don't know. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
which we haven't.
But you
talked about
can't remove New York. You'd have to remove all of New England.
Wait, is that
Which-
Super,
That's okay.
Yeah, it's still
is
would
that
Trump would win.
Superman 1 or Superman Returns? 'Cause
Thank
it's-
you.
No,
That
that's
was-
one. That's one.
What?
Yeah. Returns, wasn't that where Lex is trying to build a new island?
Yeah, and then it would flood the half the United States.
But that's
the eastern half.
but that's not what he's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
it's-
referring to the Lex Luthor in one. Yeah.
In one, he wanted to remove a state.
He was going to knock California into the ocean, and then he would have all the beachfront property.
Oh, okay. I do remember this now. Okay. God, that's why I forgot all about that one. I do like that hack man. He was cool. He was a good. I haven't seen him lately. Does anybody know what he's doing lately?
He knew exactly, which is very Trumpian.
Is that the original Superman?
Yeah,
That's so 70s. Was that like late 70s, early 80s?
70, 78. I was
so
12.
great. He bought all the property.
Yeah.
Lex
That's such
Luthor, the
That's
real
such a
estate
sad
mogul.
version of Lex Luthor.
Wow.
What?
The more modern versions are much
Yeah,
better, where
laser
he's just
the moon bases and stuff.
the more modern version. He just thinks he's kind of like Dr. Doom. He thinks he's the only one who can save humanity, and he should be in charge. He's better
Yeah.
than you.
So do you think these could have been weapons?
It's like a mad scientist, which they were. I think they were trying to go back, as far as I understand, they were trying to go back to like the original version of Lex Luthor, which was like a mad scientist that wanted to take over the world or whatever. But like he wore a lab coat and all that type of stuff back in the day.
You think these could be like geo weaponry?
I mean, I threw out
Could be obviously.
I
but
threw out the
unlikely.
Chinese super weapon early on.
There we
We
go.
got a split decision on the panel here.
I was waiting for it. I was like, okay, when are we gonna get into the fucking harp bullshit? When does that show up? You know what I mean? Like, we're just talking about. Oh no, this is like a controlled a beam of an earthquakey vibration beam that like the deep state is shooting at Trump's golf course in New York or whatever. I don't know.
And then I was like, well, it's an American super weapon. They did it in Taiwan to make it look like the Chinese. Now they do it to themselves, or maybe they're just getting it. This isn't on Trump. I mean,
Oh, Trump false flagged himself with his own earthquake device to
Possible,
make
too.
himself look like the victim.
There you go.
I don't know who's quaking.
I mean,
They-
Who's at the center of this?
Don't say stuff like that like you're kidding, man. How do you think these things start? Okay. They start with somebody being like, that's so stupid. I wonder if anybody would believe that. Let me go and put this out on 4chan here. And then all these people are like, oh my God, it's all real.
which politician's favorite movie is The Core? Because I believe they were using an earthquake weapon, and that caused the events of that film.
God, that movie is so stupid. That was one of the dumbest movies, just in general. like they're at the end, like they're big, like like what one of their big whatever the fucking what is it called, a climax. They're just yelling out numbers that could not be less meaningful. They're just like yelling 42, 79, 47, 63. It's not going in any order, not doing anything. And we're just supposed to go, okay, I guess this random set of numbers that's bad. This is bad. Is it the more random it gets, it's bad? I have no idea what's happening. This movie makes no sense.
Yeah, they stopped the core from spinning
Yeah.
because they were using earthquake weapons.
I
And then
forgot
they
all
had to
about
go
that.
down and kickstart the core again.
What if this was Jewish people digging a tunnel too deep?
Stupid.
On
That
Brooklyn.
proves it.
That could do it.
With shovels.
All right, let me get back to some of these comment thingies. Who all we got here? All right, let me pass down. Oh, Drizella's here too. Hey, what's up, Drizella? Doing all right? Say hey. And the captive desk. And somebody pointed out that I was actually wrong, and I want to apologize. Desks do have legs, so I apologize. I was saying that they don't, desks don't have any limbs, and so it's be really hard to escape if you're a captive desk because you don't have any limbs. But I was mistaken. They have legs, and that was right. And hey, look, when I make a mistake, I own up to it. Okay, no, I'm all about corrections. We can't be better until we admit that we're wrong. You know what I mean? Amber said, there are thousands of little quakes every day along most faults all over the world. It's when that stops happening that pressure starts building up for the big ones. Oh no shit! I had no idea that it worked like that. That makes sense though. It's kind of like has to shake out all the little ones, and then it builds up, right? And then it boom, just erupts. Interesting. I've never, I've been in Florida my whole life. I've never felt an earthquake. I'd imagine it's kind of scary. The most that the this is weird, but like the main thing I remember or that I know about earthquakes is what I learned from Saved by the Bell. Because I had an earthquake episode where Zach got stuck inside of an elevator with Mr. Belding's wife, who was pregnant, and he delivered the baby in the elevator. Not even kidding. Yes, that is a plot of a television show I used to watch. I still watch it actually every so often. I love that show. Anyway, that's awesome, dude. Look at the tree. Said Tim Pool equals Beanie Shapiro. Beanie Shapiro. Yeah, they just have a similar vibe. I think, and a similar sounding voice too. That's for certain. And they talk a similar speed. They're both on like 2x in their brain of their talking speed, for the most part. But yeah, and they do very similar things. Just making up bullshit. That I was gonna say arguments. They're not arguments. They're talking points. I mean, most of this right wing bullshit just is talking points because none of it connects to any kind of coherent argument. Usually, it's just like facts that are like meant to, I don't know, that meant to make you hate poor people. That's all it is, really, in general, right? Top tester, it's up. Hey, Ian talks a lot and says nothing. Which one's Ian? I don't know these people. Is that this guy, the moon lord dude? But I don't. Is that his name? Which one? Oh, who's Ian? Somebody describe what Ian looks like. I don't. Do they have nameplates? No. His name might be Rosland. I don't know. It's got that sign there. Michael said, I actually concur with Mr. Smith, the Matrix. Humans are a virus. No insult intended to those of who had no choice in existing. Yeah, that's it. I feel like I have to bring that up a lot. People always want to blame everybody, and it's like you always got to. I feel like you got to remind a lot of people that, like, look, nobody asked to be here. We're all just doing the best we can, man. Vilifying people for struggling or having, needing help or whatever. It's not cool, dude. And it's just, anyway, James said, a long time ago, I used to listen to these turds. I'm so ashamed. Well, I mean, okay, it's all right. Don't be ashamed. We grow. We all grow. And that's okay, right? Um, I never listened to him. I think when I was into conspiracies and stuff, I feel like it was just before him because he got big during the Occupy Wall Street thing, right? And so I feel like I watched all my conspiracy stuff prior to that, right? My stuff was mostly about the Boston bombing. That was mostly what I remember because like Alex Jones and the Boston bombing. But yeah, a lot of nonsense, a lot of just awful, dangerous. I'm embarrassed to some of our family gatherings around that time would just not stuff that was coming out of my face was just wow. That's embarrassing. You know what I mean? Anyway. Hey, what's up? Lago said, hell yes, live stream. But I have to drive to town in a few minutes, so I won't be able to comment much. The eclipse viewing and conspiracy theories have been just pathetic. I know, right? They're always interesting. The conspiracies. It's so fun to just watch people connect stuff. You know what I mean? And like, and the reasons that they connect things is just fascinating. And we watched one, and I don't know if it's gonna. I can't remember. I watch so many videos when I'm deciding what to watch that I forget which one is which. But I saw another one. Okay, so there's like this symbol that shows like the moon and then the sun, right? And it has all these crisscrossy lines that are just kind of like symbolizing like this is why it looks the size that it does, given the amount of like space between and the size and everything. This is why it looks like it lines up or whatever. And it's like, and then they have there's some kind of satanic symbol that's like all these crisscrossy lines too. But of course it's up and down, but if they turn it sideways, it matches the same, like, the same, whatever the explanation thing, the science explanation thing for the eclipse. That's like saying like why it lines up like that. And they're like, see, it's satanic, because a couple lines crisscross in sort of a similar fashion, sort of nowhere, not really, but just sort of, and I don't know if it's coming up in this one because like I said, I skipped through a lot of these, but that one was really funny, I think. Also I do like the CERN stuff and the world economics. They're all fun, they're all fun and really dumb. But
Tunnels in Brooklyn.
Someone mentioned you yesterday, Tim, about the farmers in California having to suck the water out of like 20,000 feet down to get to the water table, and that caused seismic disruption.
It causes the whole city to sink.
Holy shit! All right, hey, Lago's a new member. It's our first member. That's awesome. Hey, thank you so much. Hope it's worth it. I think it will be. I just did it today. Or yesterday it was approved. So, but I really do appreciate any of that. And like I said, I am going to try to start doing the badges. We're going to have all sorts of shit, I'm going to like dedicate some time during the week to put some members only videos. And then we're going to do some members only live streams. And if you get to the top one, the highest one, we'll have like a hangout, stream where I'll have on the members and we'll just actually hang out, FaceTime, it'll be fun. So, and we'll react to something, I think I'm allowed up to like 10, but I'll probably limit it to like 7 at a time. But yeah, I think that's the idea here. Anyway, but thank you so much, man. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Grand Theft Autobot said, I hope what? Conservativoids? What? Conservatoids. There we go. Conservatoids. Got it. They're conservative androids, right? That's what that is. Okay. Do get raptured. That way we can get to making this world a better place without their bigotry and hatred holding us back. I agree. I know. It'd be really nice if we could have a world where we don't constantly have people fighting with everybody for no fucking reason. I mean, look at the pandemic. We couldn't even do a pandemic without them being like, I don't have to not spread the disease. You can't tell me. Now I can tell women that they have to give birth even if they get raped or whatever. But you don't tell me I have to wear fabric on my face, okay? How dare you? you know, because they're just that fucking entitled. But then they turn around and think that everybody else is entitled. It's amazing. It's like, oh God. Yes, yes, smoted. Smoted, smoud, and then I don't know. Let's see. Member of the punk apostates. Goddamn right. Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. I like it too. It highlights the members in my thing here. I didn't know it would do that. That's nice. I'm really glad that like StreamYard and StreamYard and what do you call it? YouTube are this, you know, they get it. They know what's going on with each other, you know. They're very and we got a second member. Wow. Ember, hey. Oh, gifted 10 upon punk apostate. I have no idea what that means. I'm gonna have to read about stuff, but thank you. Thank you for the how do you what you gifted 10 memberships. Does that mean that you give them out to people? I'm so confused. I don't know what this means. I'm gonna have to look up stuff about that. I just pushed, you know, I just like named the stuff, and I pretty much just left it the the basic model that they had set, and I just named it, and then was like, all right, we're gonna go live with this. So, but thank you. Holy shit, that's awesome. I didn't know that was a thing that you can do. You can gift memberships. That's awesome. Very, very cool. And then let's see here. Lago said, am I the first member to join? You absolutely are. Yes, you are the very first member to join. That's right, you know, which you're gonna go down in history, you know, because this is gonna be like Tim Pool's gonna be like a small show compared to what we got going on here in like, I don't know, a year. You know what I mean? It's gonna explode. You'll see. But let's see what. And there's okay, a spooky guy. Oh, I see. So you give them out to people. Oh, how cool. All right. It's really neat. Thank you, Ember. That's really sweet. That's so cool. And Drizzle, oh wow. Hell yeah. So everybody gets to be a member. You get a member. You become a member. All get memberships. Yes, that's awesome. Saw the scary eclipse. Freaking awesome. Oh, I saw it too. Yeah. Yesterday I was going into. I didn't see it like the full one, right? But you know, I went into work, and they had a couple people had the glasses, and they were like, "You want to look at it?" And I was like, "Oh shit, okay, cool." And so yeah, I got to see it, and it was like halfway kind of covered. You know, it looks wild. It looks it's like you can't see it at all, you know. And then you like put the glasses on. It's like, oh yeah, straight up, so cool. Wish I could see wish I could have seen the full one, you know. Here, that's pretty neat, you know. Oh, and Grand Theft Autobot is a member now too, or I guess for the gifted membership. That's awesome. Pretty sure glitch is a Canadian word for what? For undies? Undiers? What for? What? Glitch is it for? I don't know what that is. Undiers. Is that like undies? Is what you meant? Oh, okay, there it is. Yep. Sometimes you just gotta wait for the correction, and then you know, that's it. That's so they call they call their undies glitch. Glitch? Just glitch or glitches? It's just, or is it? Well, I got to get my glitch on. my glitch is all just riding up. I have no idea what that sounds like. That could not be. I have to be wrong about that, right? Please tell me I'm wrong. Nobody says that. Jesus. Let's see what we got here. Beanie Shapiro is super smart. I know he's the smartest. I mean, look at his face right here. You know, he should be like stroking his beard right now, you know, or his stubble, whatever it is, you know. Because man, he's just and Al's one too. Damn, everybody's a member right now. Slang. Oh, okay, let me see. Okay. Glitch is Canadian slang for underwear, bottoms for any gender. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I've never and just it sounds so weird to just have one word, not like under like underpants. You know what I mean? Uh, um, but I got, glitch. I just want to say glitches. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but it's got to be two, even though it's not two. I don't know why. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto said, Trump couldn't nuke a hurricane, so he made an earthquake device. Is Trump actually Cobra Commander? Yeah. I mean, I could see it would not surprise me in the least if we found out that he has an island with a skull-shaped building on it, where he hangs out behind the eyeball, one of the eyeballs. And then he's got one of those desks and his chair like spins around, and he does like this a lot. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. We get back into this for a bit.
Wow.
Pulling the water out of the
And
ground.
sucking. I've heard about that about oil. Obviously, fracking can do that too.
Well, it's because the Earth is flat, and beneath the plane is the waters of the universe, and they're pulling that out and sinking us to the bottom of the dome that we're in. That proves it.
My question
Media man as
is,
well write that seriously.
is maybe like this much
That is something that people believe seriously. Yes. So, because the biblical model of the Earth has the water. There's like the fountains, the foundation. It has like foundations, but then it has like the springs of the waters or whatever. It's so stupid. It makes no sense, But that was it, and I feel like it describes it. Like I remember seeing in my old Bible the model, the flat Earth model, and it like had the foundations of the Earth, and then something like the springs or something like where they're saying like the water shot up from for the flood, because it wasn't just water that rained, it was water that came up from the ground too. God, it like came at it from multiple angles.
concrete is like the safest thing that you could have? Because remember, Casey Neistat stuck a camera, like he pulled up a whole Brooklyn sidewalk, and it was just this much just separating it from the ground. Maybe that's enough. That's earthquake proof right there. I didn't hear anything about sidewalks collapsing in New York City.
This was a
maybe
pretty
it's-
low one. I think it was 4.2.
Yeah, but the
4.8.
concrete's
I
like
thought it was
this
4.8,
thin.
right?
4.8.
Which is pretty big for
I
the
thought that a 5.0 is like really big. I don't know anything about this stuff, so but
East Coast.
For the East
you know what
Coast.
it is? It's because I'm probably like thinking of like the hurricanes, because F5 or whatever. It's like the like one of the strongest, right? But so I'm thinking 5. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's
Okay,
7.5
whatever.
in Taiwan. It was,
But they have
Oh,
more
okay.
like experience with it.
And they
than-
only lost like 10 people in
Yeah.
that. I mean, buildings crashed onto themselves.
Taiwan was
You know?
crazy. Like a whole apartment building fell over.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
That sucks. That's scary. The sad thing, we had that happen here in Florida, and there wasn't even an earthquake. It was just because DeSantis is DeSantis. That's why. Just buildings just start falling down because of that guy. No, there's like terrible, like we're deregulating everything, and so there's like nobody checking on the foundations and stuff. They like anyway, it's just it wasn't good. And we're basically just a big sponge. Florida is just a big sponge that people were like, we can build stuff on top of this, and they probably shouldn't have,
It's like a movie.
Well,
Yeah.
they were commuting, so like I guess a lot of people in those buildings were out and going to work. It was like 9 a.m. over there or something.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. I always think about like if there were a real earthquake in New York, because there's a fault line that goes right under 23rd Street. That would be really bad.
Wasn't that movie? Oh man, there was this movie back in the days called Volcano. That's what it was. I guess Volcano is not in. Well, there was earthquakes are involved with Volcano. It's all sort of similar, right? It was Tommy Lee Jones was like the mayor of New York, and he's like running all over trying to redirect the lava to get it out to the water or whatever. It was awesome. It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. He plays a good like boss man guy, just rattling off orders and stuff. He's very believable at that. I mean, he's believable at anything he does because he's phenomenal. But
It's for New York City.
Well, there's a fault line there that's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's dormant. It hasn't shook in quite a while. This was like the Ramapo fault, which was Jersey, obviously, but New York could not withstand a proper earthquake. No.
Yeah. Well,
Nope.
it could be
Proper.
a problem. I know Haiti didn't have seismic activity for 200 years, and then all of a sudden that fault line, I forgot what it's called, activated, and they had just reinforced their buildings for hurricanes.
Wow.
So they were concrete and all that,
Oh.
and they were not earthquake proofed at all.
They
So
crumbled.
that's why so many people died in that
Wow.
earthquake.
Damn, that sucks. Because I feel like it's a different thing. It's a completely different type of problem with earthquakes. From earthquakes to hurricane, like I've been through so many hurricanes. It's not even, I don't even know how many hurricanes I've been through. And it's almost just becomes like a yearly thing. Like, okay, it's hurricane day of this year, whatever. It's just like a holiday that just seems to come every year almost. But yeah, and it's just, but I'd imagine it's very different because like you basically just got to get stuff out of the wind. You know what I mean? You got to get stuff like in a way, like away from where the wind can pick it up. So it's a lot of just bringing shit inside, stacking it on the wall, whatever, and then like getting into a very secure part of the house. And that's it, and then hope your house doesn't blow down. Right. But when it comes to and so like what I was saying, like what the cement actually would be good. You would think that would be a good thing. But there's no give to cement, right? I feel like so it'd be easier for an earthquake to take out cement stuff. So it's almost like working at it from two different angles. That sucks. So like I've been saying this for a while. We need to start building buildings and everything out of rubber. I think that's what we need to do. We just need to build to make it like like what a rubber band is made of. Just take a whole bunch of rubber bands, throw them in a pot, heat it up, melt that stuff into a paste, and then make that into bricks. And then that's what all of the buildings should be made out of.
15 years ago, whichever you know which one I'm referring to.
It must be the end of days.
Gosh, I wonder.
I can't believe someone remembered the plot of Superman Returns.
That was you.
Oh,
No, that was you. I'm
no, I
very
remembered
impressed.
No,
Superman
Oh,
Returns.
did you?
Yeah.
That was impressive.
I was as we were just talking. I was thinking like, God,
Why? Because that was so bad. I mean, it was pretty bad. Although I did like, well, never mind. I'm not even going to say that.
it's gonna say when you die, if you die, or when you speak with God, it'll be like, yeah, I was real, dude, the whole time. I guess. Why did it take you 48 or 500 years, or whatever long? Why did it take you so many years to figure that out? Why did you live your life like just like you need?
Because we don't have any actual good reasons to think that it's true. Like this is like, if a God is doing that, like I'm always just like, are you fucking kidding? Like you couldn't do anything more specific, man. This is just all this ambiguous shit, right? That everybody's just saying is everything. Everybody's over here pointing to different things, saying that their thing is true because of all this stuff that's completely ambiguous. It gets dark outside, and people are like, that's my God. My God's doing that. You know, it's like, Jesus, man, what are you talking about?
Eat it. Like maybe not.
Can
It's
we?
almost
I want to
silly.
give this lady a special shout out from the post millennial. Woke New Jersey Senate candidate says earthquake is evidence the climate crisis is real.
I died when I saw this tweet.
Yo,
Oh,
So
I experienced my first earthquake in New Jersey. We never get earthquakes. The climate crisis is real. I'm sorry, it's a cult.
oh,
Yeah.
it's definitely a cult. It's definitely a cult.
I don't understand what's happening. No, so he's saying that's not true. That climate change isn't real. I mean, that's not necessarily the proof. The proof is all the proof. The proof is all the proof that all of the scientists have been pointing to for like the last 10 fucking years. And you know, so she's saying this one thing is the proof. No, you can add it to the collection of the actual proof. You know, this is the result of all of the proof that the scientists have been fucking screaming at us about forever. But it's a cult because what? People believe in climate. And of course, it makes so much sense to me that these fucking right-wing nutbags, of course they're against believing that climate change is a thing, especially since it's caused by one of the biggest industries our planet has ever known, the oil industry, you know, and getting rid of the, you know, I mean, if we did something about climate change, we'd have to get rid of that entire fucking industry. So of course there's like conspiracies and you know, all this like trying so hard to misunderstand science so that you can sound like you know better than literally all the experts. Of course. That's what I mean. It's like Ray Comfort, you know, I didn't say I want some evidence. I want one evidence. because it's like, yeah, because if we give too much evidence, that's the bad thing, right? Because you are asking for the impossible, because what you would be convinced by doesn't exist, right? Oh God, of course, and of course, this guy's on the fucking anti-climate change thing. What an idiot! These people are so dumb. It's like, I swear, it's like they're like children. It's like dealing with fucking children. They don't understand critical thinking. They don't understand anything. They only understand outrage, bullshit. And then it's like now climate change is woke too. Is that really? Climate change is part of the woke thing, right? Is that they're just balling it all together? Whatever. This is why y'all can't define it, because it's literally anything now. Now it's just thinking climate change is a fact, which it's a fact. God damn, that's fucking hilarious. What an idiot. Oh man, I am way behind on the. But what isn't idiotness? No, that wasn't good. That sucked. That was bad. Is what people do when they have sex. That's what intelligent. Let's just go with the opposite. What intelligent people do is have sex with toys. Because you're not really having fun until you're doing it with toys. You know what I mean? That's what I always say. So go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brently. That's BRENTLY at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brently, and get your butt some stuff, yeah. Get that butt some stuff. I don't know what that was, but I feel like that just turns you on, right? That would going, oh yeah. Right. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I'm doing, man. That's
They call it the climate crisis is the culty part, because there's a lot of crises in our climate at the moment.
They keep changing.
No, the culty part is being like the sun is the pollution is causing earthquakes now.
Yeah, it's
like, oh, dude.
I went back. I looked at every.
It is though. I mean, they said like we know that like the temperature rising causes all of these different things. It's like a fucking it's like a butterfly effect, like everything starts running into everything else. I don't know exactly what causes it, from the polar ice caps melting down to the plate tectonics, but I'm sure they're affected by it. Goddamn.
Prediction
And
weather.
it isn't. I mean, isn't it the case that they don't typically happen there? I mean, I guess they did say that there was a fault line there, but that it was very uncommon, right? I don't know.
People,
I have to look into it.
climatologists, geologists, whoever that predict things, terrible things are going to happen to the environment in some way. We're going to run out of oil, or we're going to run out of natural resources, or overpopulation.
No, we need to run out of oil. That's what we need to run out of. Okay. Because that's what's fucking things up.
And I went back to when I was born in 1966. I found 53, and they are 0 and 53. Not one climate crisis, environmental crisis that the so-called experts have come up with has ever come true. And now they want us to believe number 54.
What are you talking about? Okay. I don't know what I love how he conveniently leaves out like any specifics, right? The one that I'm aware of that I bet you he's talking about is the ozone layer. That was a big one when I was a kid, right? There was a hole in the ozone layer, right? But that's because we fixed it. We literally, stopped using this particular chemical that we were putting in aerosols and stuff, and it was getting in the atmosphere, and it was fucking up the ozone layer. Like it was weakening it, whatever. Right. And we fixed it. We stopped doing that stuff, and then it was okay. We made it when there's no hole in there now, as far as I understand. But now the whole climate is changing.
And you got to be crazy to believe 54. Why would we believe? Who would believe someone who's 0 and 53? I wouldn't believe someone who's 0 and 2.
Are you trying to say?
I don't think it's like he's just talking about the numbers, and these are like those things where I feel like they go through, and just that could be one. Yeah, well, let's throw that in there. Yeah, throw that in the bag. That's probably one of the 53. And it's just like nonsense, you know what I mean? It's just something that's like that doesn't count. How could that count? But they don't care. They're just trying to build a case and data mine as much as they can to be able to come to the conclusions that they wanted to come to. And let's be real, any of this anti-climate change shit is all just people just wanting to believe that it's not true, you know, because it's inconvenient. And it is inconvenient. It sucks, you know, it sucks that we have to do that. We're going to have to address this and everything, you know, and all these problems that are going to start happening, and that we need to start driving more electric cars or whatever the fucking solution is. We're going to have to start doing it. And that sucks. That's inconvenient. I get it. But dude, like, do you want your grandkids to like not be, you know, in trouble? Like, don't you want your grandkids to be okay, right? But half the time they're just like, nah, I don't care. I don't care about grandkids, you know. But I don't know.
Say that you're willing to let us have earthquakes just so you cannot drive an electric vehicle. Shame on you, sir.
That's
The climate predictions that lead to these, what they call the climate crisis, the big one. The predictions are made without implementing mitigating factors. I talked actually with Ben Shapiro about this. Ben's really knowledgeable about this too.
Good. Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah, he's really knowledgeable.
Because things change. So they build a data, and they're like, if things continue as they are in 10 years, we will be. Things don't. They do not always. Right. You learn a new technology completely, like the horse poop in New York. They invented the automobile, and it was completely like it was the biggest problem on Earth.
When did Greta Thunberg? She was like, we have 3 years.
What the fuck was that whole brain melt? You know, he's like, yeah, and the horse poop. That was a thing too. Remember the horse poop, everybody? And then the automobile that solved the horse poop problem, because there was a big horse poop problem. What, man? What are you talking about? Like, I wish they would give specifics, but it's not like
years left or something, and then she deleted the tweet.
Right.
Yeah.
So
she had to delete
my
it.
view is that was a load off my shoulders. I mean, like,
Were you worried about it?
when she tweeted
and
that?
if you want to load on your shoulders, just go to Adam and Eve. Where's my thing? AdamandEve.com, you know, and you can get loads just wherever you want them. They can be on your shoulders, they can be on your face, they can be in your mouth, whatever, you know, it's all just they go wherever you want. AdamandEve.com, enter code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout. Get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. And the packaging is discreet. Go get it. Do it now, and then have lots of sex. It's fun.
That out and said we had like 3 years left. Once we finally reached that point, I was just relieved. So I'm like, now it doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly.
Whatever. Okay. What's going on here? What are you all doing? I feel like y'all are going to be more interesting than this guy at this point, because they're just silly. Hey, Jess. What's up, Jess? How we doing? Cool. Oh, and Martin made it. Hey, Martin. How we doing? Not that I've ever heard. I don't know what we're referring to. I'm having to skip down. Okay, I'm having to skip down through because a lot of times I miss super chats and stuff, and so I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to keep up and make sure. Okay, no, we're good. All right. A lot of members though, which is, you know, that's awesome. That was like the new thing. Yeah, everybody that's new here, if you want to become a member, you know, that's a thing you can do now. And we got Adam and Eve sort of at AdamandEve.com sort of like themed levels, you know. All right, let's see. World, I think that would be great. World made of rubber or Nerf is good too. That Nerf foam stuff, you know, I think we can make some buildings out of that, right? Be all right. Those things never deteriorate. I still got one in my yard from like 18 years ago. You know, it's still there. It's fine. Nothing can damage those things. They just them and cockroaches. That's what'll be left, you know, when the world falls apart. Worm Food's here. What's up, dude? Why are they so obsessed with Superman movies? They must realize comparing their god to a comic book character doesn't help their case much, right? I'd imagine, but it's even funnier than that too, because like they're actually comparing the politician that they like to the villain of Superman. So yeah, even dumber than that, dude. Insane. Grand Theft Autobot said, "Wait, Nerf Earth might not work. When it rains, it'll get super soggy." Yeah, that's the only problem. Is they're like sponges. And like house sponges just doesn't. That probably it's probably not a good idea. You know what I mean? Just be everywhere you step. It's just like shook, 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 shook. And just. I mean, it'd be nice at first because it would soak up your drink when you drop your drink. You don't have to worry about it because it just soaks it up into the sponge. But after a while, all the Kool-Aid and stuff that's stuck down there, it's just it's really sticky. It's just gross. It's get ants everywhere. It's a mess. Let's see here. It said everything they hate is woke. Yeah, that's. I know now climate change is woke. What? It's like climate. It's this woke post just saying that a scientific fact is a scientific fact. It's funny because he's like sitting there making fun of flat earthers and people that believe in the Matrix and shit, and like denying climate change is just as unscientific as flat Earth. Like it is. It's like you're denying evidence. That's what this really boils down to. Are these what type 1 errors or whatever, like not believing things that are true, right? And it's the same thing that flat earthers do. It's like, oh no, I'm going to reject all of this stuff, right? And then believe my thing way over here, and they're doing the exact same shit with climate change. They're just refusing to acknowledge evidence, like on a monumental level. Like Grand Theft Autobot said, I stubbed my toe on the table leg. Well, that's hard to do. How did you even? Are you walking or at? Okay, you shouldn't walk on tables, dude. That's not. They're for sitting at. That's a. He said I stubbed my toe on the table leg. And he said tables woke. That's right. I mean, that might as well be how they think. Everything's woke. If I don't like it, it's woke, Jeez. Wait, what? Why is it? Wait, where is it? Worm Food said everything is a cult except for the cult they're in, because they'd rather feed their us versus them narrative than actually learn about high control groups. Yeah, I mean, and look, most cults, as far as I could tell, a lot of them, they function very similarly to the us and them thing. That's almost like with the basics for a cult. Like you have to have this, it's us and them. You got to come where we are to get away from them and they're bad or whatever. And it's. Yeah, I don't know. So a lot of the mentality seems to be very similar in these right-wing spaces. There's a lot of believing stuff that doesn't make sense, a lot of getting worked up, a lot of repetition. They like repeating things, like the word woke, right? That's just a bad thing. A lot of repetition. It's it's all this brainwashing type shit. The only difference is that now they're doing it to themselves. And I think they don't realize that. They like go on, these shows like this and just keep on watching Tim Pool and Charlie Kirk and all these, like they're basically brainwashing themselves. Nothing. They don't ever check to see if anything's true. Everything is just whatever their content creators say it is, and their whole job is to misrepresent everything, so that they can sell the narrative that the right is right and left is wrong. And so it's very similar. That's why it's so weird when they start saying like, oh, the atheism is a religion, or you leftists are in a cult. Really, a cult that's for what? Like, what am I brainwashed into believing? And they can never. I feel like they can never tell like what, like I'm like into what? What am I brainwashed into? You're like the Trump's bad. I was like, I don't need to be brainwashed into that, dude. Like, I can just see him and see what he's done, and come to reasonable conclusions based on evidence. That's not brainwashing, dude. So stupid. All right, let me see here. Drusilla said, Michael, he's responding to Michael. Unfortunately, I think stupid people is the last thing we're going to run out of. Yeah, that's we got those in spades. You know what I mean? Let's see. Captive Death said, no, dumb dumb. They make models that come to fruition since the 1970s. Yeah, because that's how science works. Like we're constantly updating. We create models, right? And then we update those models based on the evidence and the experimentation and the logical evaluation of the results. And that's what's happening here. And these people are mad at the results. They just don't like that this inconvenient truth is in fact a truth. That we're going to have to do something about climate change. Now, I'm very confident that that we're going to figure something out, just like we did with the ozone layer and whatever the other 50, whatever the fuck things he's talking about. I bet you it's stuff that was a serious problem that we took care of. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Or it just might be conspiracy bullshit that he's making up a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to figure out some sort of carbon capture type technology, maybe little tiny microbots, right? That like fix everything all the time, like in that movie Jason X. They even go inside your body and fix your body, and they make you into a super soldier, and then then it's even harder to kill you. Then you're basically a demon that's been recreated. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm off on a tangent. I don't forgot what are we talking about? We're talking about something. I don't know. Deep State's here. What's up, dude? Flat earthers are losers. Hey. No name calling. Okay. What did we say in the rules? Huh? No name calling. All right. Jeez. That is brutal. You're being brutal. Okay. I'm sure they win at some stuff since there might be a scratch off or something that they won. I don't know. You don't know. To sequel, what's up, dude? You like that? I like that joke. It was a good one. I'm actually pretty proud of that one. That was I'm gonna shine my fingernails with that one. You know what I mean? My lack of fingernails. But thank you. Yes. Oh, anyway, to sequel once said, I do my own research. Yeah, that's their biggest problem is they do their own research. That's the Tim Pool motto. Do your own research. Do not listen to people that know what they're talking about. You talk about stuff, okay? Just you, the people that don't know. That's who should be talking, all right? Jesus. Deep State said, the word woke is a cult thought-stopping technique. If you call something woke, then you don't have to think about it. That makes good sense, actually, because it's like these words that they repeat, and it's like a pejorative or whatever, and they just keep on repeating it as this negative thing, and just anything can fall under this broad category of woke or whatever. Yeah, that does make sense to me that would be used in like a cult kind of way. Like I would say, like they always say like, oh, like wokeness is a cult. I'm always like, dude, and then I'm like, how is it a cult, right? Like I had this whole conversation in the comment threads the other day, and I asked this guy, it's like, what makes it a cult? Like define cult, then tell me how wokeness fits into that, right? Fits into that narrative. And then he basically went into a bunch of things saying like, oh, it's just because they're really obsessive about their rights, and justice and equity and things like that. And I was just like, okay, so based on your own criteria, right? Being anti-woke could also be a cult, because you're so loosely defining cult to kind of to make it be what you want it to be. It's like a violation of the law. It's an equivocation. They're just equivocating. They're just like changing definitions of things to serve their fucking arguments. Anyway, let's see here. I think we're almost gotta wrap it soon. Let's see. Warm Food said Joe Rogan does a better job than these guys, and he has head injuries. permanent shroom induced psychosis. Yeah. And yeah, I know. I feel like Joe Rogan, he understands the industry a bit better, I think. I don't know. I think they're trying to be like them, but I think they're trying to be an even more inflammatory version of it. You know what I mean? Joe at least tries to appease some like regular people every so often by like questioning the conspiracy people a little bit, not often, but he does do it. And I don't know. This guy, it's just everything is get mad about everything. Get mad, all the conspiracies or whatever, they're true. Get mad. It's the wokers. It's those wokies. You know, they're ruining everything, advocating for the rights of people. Just can't have that. Can't have people advocating for rights. So, anyway, just equal one said it's so funny. Atheists or leftists, it seems like we do so much learning to make sure we're honest with our information, but the right wing and apologists ignore reality to keep their points. That's honestly, that's why I don't debate online anymore. Right there, dude, because I I am such a self-doubter, like that I want, if you make an argument and you're like, oh no, it's not, it doesn't work like that. It works like this over here. I'm gonna spend the next 30 to 45 fucking minutes assuming that I'm mistaken and looking up information, from actual sites, from actual science journals and things like that, and communicating with actual doctors and scientists that I know. Because a lot of times I don't understand the studies and stuff. Sometimes they get very complicated, with the abstract and all that. So but and then I go back all just to find out that they were just making shit up. You know what I mean? All just to come back and be like, well, fuck. So no, they're just wrong, and I was being too I was being too honest, with myself about being like, okay, I'm going to assume this person's being honest, that this is an honest interlocutor or whatever. No, they're just making bullshit up. And then I'm wasting my time going to figure out, like, make sure that I know about the thing well enough to know that they are definitely wrong, because if they are right, I want to know about it, because that's how you learn things, But no, it always, always, always ended up being just the case that they're just a fucking idiot that read some conspiracy paper, or whatever, or watched some fucking video, and they're just repeating talking points from some dumbass, and then I'm wasting all my time just looking up a bunch of shit I already fucking knew, because I'm assuming I could be mistaken. But it's still a good thing. It's still a good thing to assume that you could be mistaken. But that's why I don't really do online interactions anymore. It's just a waste of fucking time,
I'm
That's what-
chill. Like,
why
we're
don't-
done. It's
Wow.
over.
And they never
Party
say that.
time.
Well,
They
and you
never
had
say
Al
that.
Gore. You
It's
had
like a
this whole thing.
meteor is right there in the sky about to hit us, and take nothing we can do about it.
Yep.
So
What
I'm
I
ready to
always-
party, dude.
What I always think about when
That's not
people-
true though. That's see, and this is like exactly the type of mentality. And I'm gonna wrap it after this. That's exactly the type of mentality they want you to have. You know what I mean? These people that are only give a fuck about making money, only give a fuck about keeping their oil industry like going as hard as it, but it's a finite resource. We can't, it's not infinite. We're gonna have to run, it's gonna run out at some point, you know. Like, we're gonna have to do something, and so it's great, but they just want us to go, well, just don't worry about it, just fucking, because the people, if they only care about making money, I swear they think one quarter at a time. That's it. Like, they think just and this quarter, and that's it. That's all they care about. They don't care if the world's gonna fucking fall to pieces if they keep doing what they're doing, right? As long as this quarter their sales or their income goes up, whatever, it's sad. And those are the people that these people are trying to appease, because I feel like he's in the wealthy circle with them now. This Temple's rich. He has a compound. I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds like sounds like a cult thing, I think, right? And that let's see, Michael. Does Michael say you think it's a cult thing, right? Oh, I can't argue with my computer backup, damn English professor, and her requirements for citations. I know it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Oh god. And then Disequal one, this will be the last comment for today. Disequal one said, I want to believe as many true things and as few false things as possible. No, it's a Hitchens. I thought that was Matt Dillahunty. I thought that was his phrase. I want to believe as many true things and as few false things as possible. I thought was Matt Dillahunty, but maybe he got it from Hitchens. But I could be mistaken. I could have sworn that was Dillahunty. Oh, we got somebody new. Hey, what's up? HL Aristoteles, right? They think that Jeebus is coming back before the oil runs out, or the climate is totally fucked. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Because that's who they're appeasing right here. That's who they're appealing to, I should say. It's these people that just believe that the world's going to end anyway, and that God's going to come back with his sword tongue and his fire eyes and just start melting people and throwing them into a big lake of fire because he's so loving. He's loving, you know. That's what loving gods do. They make a lake of fire to torture people, and as long as they don't love them exactly the way they want to. And so yeah, that's what they're all banking on. I remember I used to say this. I used to say, well, I believe that the earth was built for our dominion. So we get to mess it up, and then God's going to come back and just fix it all anyway, you know, and then the Emerald City will come down, a big cube that we all get to live in, the big cube. And somehow there's mansions inside the cube and golden streets. It doesn't really make sense from a logistics standpoint, but that doesn't matter. When does that ever matter, you know? But yeah, so it's ridiculous. But anyway, you know what's not ridiculous? Having sex. You should go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley, and check out to get 50% off any one item, almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shitting. Wow, that's not free shitting. You've got to pay for that. Okay, and it's with whatever you ate that day. You know, you're gonna pay for it later. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley, Brently, and check out. And it's free shipping. Free shipping, yeah, and it's good stuff, and it's also discreet packaging, you know, unless you have a parent that's like some of ours that just open up other people's stuff whenever it shows up at the door. They just start opening stuff up, then you got to try to explain. And it's a lamp. I know it's a rubber lamp that looks like a penis. It's a joke lamp. Okay, everything is a lamp. But if you want to support us, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, and entering that code word Brentley. Or you can go to Patreon at patreon.com/punkapostate. I got a bunch of stuff going up there, you know, or you can do a one-time payment at Cash App. If you want to, you can become a producer like Vonner. And you know, you give so many times. It's you know, the bar moves. Okay, I'm not going to say, but I'll decide at some point. You are now a producer. There's no actual line though, you know. It just depends. But if you want to go to the Cash App, our cash tag is Punkapostate. That's all one word. And now we got memberships, right? So if you want to do a membership, we got 3 layers, right? We got 3 levels, right? And the first level is handcuffs and lube. You know, it's kind of just your basic run of the mill shopping at adamandeve.com type of products, you know. But then the second one is our special Punkapostate Ray Comfort themed banana shaped dildo from adamandeve.com called the Comfort Butt Banana. So that's the second tier there. And the third tier is it's just just dominatrix. So you know, because you got the sub is the handcuffs and lube. That's what subs usually buy. And then at the top, you get the dom. You get to be the dom. So, and that's the highest level. So yeah, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. And you know, if see, there's all these comments coming. Okay. But main thing now is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we'll see you next time.